Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to Be Determined. In today's video, I finally got my hands on an Infernal Aurora set to help me do Kuudra a bit easier. And for those of you watching way in the future, I am recording this on the week of the Forging Alpha being dropped. So this is kind of a catch-up video for everything that I've done across the past 2 or 3 weeks, just so that we're all caught up from the live streams for when the Forging update comes out, because I'm going to be making a bunch of guides probably the first week or two of forging, and then after I've got all the guides out, I'll start editing down all of the footage from my actual gameplay. And I'm going to be honest, I think from this update, we will get top 100. The question is, will we be able to keep it? I think if we're able to keep it from one major update to the next update that adds like a significant amount of SkyBlock XP, then I would say we've hit the goal. But hey, if we hit top 100, who says we're stopping there? So if you guys want to see me push past the top 100 and maybe even hit max SkyBlock XP, please make sure to drop a like on the video, smash the sub button, and without further ado, let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mage level 45. Let's go. That's our 4 XP for today. So hopefully that means we passed some people in Skyblock XP. But that put us 61% to 472. We dropped a place since yesterday. We're down to 167. But hopefully that 4 XP, it made us pass someone. It'll take a little bit for it to load though. All right, boys. We have done 31 runs today, which is enough for us to first off drop a master star on our last run. But our last run of what? Is our last run as tank. But that means we are no longer running tank. I have done, I think it was like 500 tank runs that we needed to finish tank. But now if we pull up the website right here, you can see I had 1 tank run left. If we refresh, I have no tank runs left. I have no healer runs left. So 2022 runs between Mage, Burrs, and Archer. We're going to be playing Burrs next, but before we do that, we're going to take a break from running M7, and we're going to start playing our Kuudra run. So the plan now is next stream, I'm going to be spending a bunch of money prepping for our Kuudra runs. I got to do 400 runs of Infernal Kuudra to max out this collection, so I have all the keys saved up, so we will be doing that next time. But that's it for tank runs. In order for us to get into Kuudra, we are going to need to spend some coins today. So first off, I am going to need 1 more of these Chimera books right there so that we can casually spending 170 million coins. But that is so that we can actually get Chimera 3 on our Ragax. So there's Chimera 3, so many coins. And we are down to less than 100 mil for the first time in a very, very long time. So hopefully this ends up being worth it. But there it is, Chimera 3 on our Ragax. I'm not really worried about the attributes on it, but it's got about as much strength as you can have now. I mean, of course, we are going to need eventually Chimera 5 on this thing, but for now, Chimera 3 will do. But other than that, we do have some more coins to spend, which first off, we do have our pet Gregory here. I have been feeding him a little bit. I think I fed him 2 times now, so this is 3. So he's up to level 94. So there's that. Not too shabby. Hopefully we can get him up to level 100 before too long. But today we're going to be using our main G-Drag. I might put Shelmet on him. Probably will put Shelmet on him. But we'll just have to see how that goes. Anyways, other than that, I think we've got most of the things we need, except I do need to get some Legion. So how much is Legion 5 right now? It's 36 mil. I could buy 1. Well, thankfully, I do have all those chili peppers saved up that I haven't sold yet, so we'll sell those. 300 million coins worth of chili peppers. That should cover us pretty well, so I'm going to need to buy 3 of these. So let's just go ahead and do that. 115 mil. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm going to need those Titanics back. Boom. Legion 5 on the chest plate. Voila. And then Legion 5 on the boots. And finally, Legion 5 on the legging. There it is. Very nice. So that's that whole setup with a Legion on it. Very good. I could swap these Onyxes over to Jaspers, but I don't think it's important enough for us to worry about spending our very limited resources on that, because we have one more thing that we're gonna have to do today. So let's get to that upgrade. I did already spend some money on a decent setup for my Aurora. I got kind of scammed on these leggings, but the other pieces I got for about 5 mil each. But this is my Breeze Mana Pool setup, which, I mean, to be fair, the leggings aren't a total scam. They've got Mana Pool 7 on them, so they're pretty decent. But we are going to go ahead and do as many upgrades on these as we can. So first off, I would like to just see what the damage is like at base, and then we're going to do upgrades to them and just see how much better it gets over time as we do more and more upgrades. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna swap to the Aurora real quick, and while we're in Kuudra, we're generally gonna be on our DPS setup for whenever we're arching. So we're just gonna see how much we do with this setup. So I've already got my mana pool, or my magical powers, on the right stuff for arch damage. So with that in mind, we're doing 800k to graveyard zombies. Not too bad. 817,000, so you can see the exact number right there. Test your Kuudra damage on a magma cube. Is that the strat? All right, let's do that then. Let's test it on a magma cube. Okay, so against the magma cube, we are doing 905,000 damage. That's pretty solid. Why not mana pool, mana regen? Because it's too expensive and attributes are getting removed whenever foraging drops, which could be in like a week. Who knows? Not copium, for real. But yeah, so I'm not really worried about God roll at the moment. I do have some attribute upgraders chilling somewhere. I think I put them in here. Yes, so we've got some mana pool, a little bit of breeze up in here. So let's just see exactly what we can do with all of this. Now we can do /attribute menu, and we're gonna take this gear and do some upgrades. So let's start off with the boots. They've got mana pool 2 right now. I guess I can just combine everything else then and then do that later. I think that's the strat. So let's start off with mana pool 4 pieces. Boom. There's mana pool 5. Mana pool level 6. Boom. And I think that's about it that I can get on that. Breeze 6. All right, so now we throw these in here. So we're upgrading to breeze 6 and mana pool 6. Boom. That's pretty solid. I'll take that. And we also got a couple more pieces right here. So for those, I'm just gonna let them chill for a minute and maybe we'll come back to them. But for now, let's work on the leggings a little bit. But this already has breeze 5 on it, so I don't think we're gonna be able to do too much here, to be honest. We can get it up to breeze 6, but the mana pool level is so high. We might be able to do a little bit more. So there we go. We got breeze 6 right there, and then we can combine these, and we now have breeze 7 on the leggings. That's pretty decent. And yeah, I think that's really all we can do right now. So we'll just throw these in here again. And then finally, we've got the chest plates. So let's see what we can do with these, shall we? Breeze 7, mana pool 6, right there. Beautiful. All right, so there's the drip. And I don't have like any upgrades on this. So let's do some upgrades before we worry about too much else. We won't worry about stars right now, but what I do want to do is reforges. So do I go with loving on the chest plate or do I do necrotic? I think loving's still better, right? Loving chest plate. All right, there we go. Loving on the chest plate. Boom. And then we can do necrotic on the rest right there. So we got the full necrotic set up. And then I've got a bunch of recoms chilling, so we can just go ahead and recom this. And then I guess, do I get wisdom? I think we get wisdom on this, right? I don't think Legion will help a lot on RCM. Yeah, I think we just go with wisdom. So we'll go ahead and apply wisdom to this, which we're gonna need some Titanics again. So put wisdom on this. I guess I should G6 P6, eh? That's also probably a good thing to do. Wisdom and wisdom. All right, growth. Let's go ahead and buy 4 of these. All right, and prots. Let's see, where's Blast Prot 6 at? Buy 4 of these as well. All right, these things are getting a little expensive, boys. So this thing I haven't upgraded like hardly at all. It's got refrigerate on it right now. You know what? Let me swap that over to wisdom as well. Let's do that. Voila, beautiful. And then we'll put prot 6, prot 6, prot 6, and finally prot 6. All right, so we got G6, P6, Wisdom on the whole setup now. It is still base Aurora, but it's got some attribute upgrades. So let's see exactly how much that did for us. Let's see. Boom. 1.3. I mean, that's a 400,000 damage increase. That is crazy. We got mana vamp. I mean, we can do that in a minute. Give me a second. I'm just trying to worry about damage increases right now, and then we'll worry about mana vamp in a second. Hardened mana. Hardened mana. All right, let's do that then. I think that sounds better. Hardened mana on the leggings. Boom. And hardened mana on the boots. So that should make us a little tankier. That's not really going to help with our damage straight up, but that'll make us a bit tankier. So there's that. Now we got to actually do the upgrade part. We're going to start off by upgrading straight to hot tier. That's the plan. So I can't really see how much this is costing me, but we'll just look at the right side of my screen. You can see my purse there has 185 million coins in it, and now boom, it no longer has 185 million coins in it. That only cost us 6 mil though, so that wasn't too bad. Let's go ahead and do some more. Boom, there it is, hot leggings. And I don't have any gems on this right now. We can worry about that later. I don't think it's important enough for us to focus it on it at the moment, but there it is, full necrotic hot set. So we were doing, when I first got this set, 900k, and then after the recent upgrades, 1.3 million, and now it's not great. It's like a 60,000 damage increase, 80,000, 70,000, somewhere around there. It's not great. The health is still better. Yeah, that's true. So we'll be able to survive better. So it was still worth it, but that wasn't great. So let's actually warp back and do a little bit more. I'm at 167 million coins. Let's see how much this costs me to do the chest plate. I do have a ton of essence on me already, so I haven't really, are you trolling me? Haven't really had to worry too much about buying the essence. It's just buying the pearls and that type of thing. But there is the burning chest plate. Let's upgrade the rest of it. We're getting there. Boom. Burning Aurora leggings. Is helmet starred? Yes, helmet is starred. It's I mean, I only have wither goggles, so we're not worried about doing too much on that. And there is the burning Aurora boots. All right, let's see. Maybe this should push us over at least 1.4 million, hopefully. It's like 1.5, almost 1.5, 1.45. So it's a decent start. Now, the real question is, how much further can I afford to go? Before this, I had like 180,000 Crimson Essence, and I still got 75,000, but that isn't really going to be enough for most of this, I don't think. So let's just start off by pushing as high on these as we can. It's only costing 1,000 essence per on these upgrades, so I feel like this is worth it. There's fiery. I think we can afford to get up to fiery on all of these without it costing me too much money. Boom, there's fiery. And the last one, I'm gonna be under 100 mil after all this, but there is fiery Aurora boots. Now, how much Crimson Essence do I have left now? 13k, so I still got some left. That's good. But let's see, we should definitely be over 1.5 million damage now. 1.53, 1.54. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but we'll take it. Save some for keys, man. Oh, don't you worry. Don't you worry at all, my friend. Don't worry about keys. But there it is, boys. We're going to stop at fiery for now. Maybe we'll upgrade to infernal at some point soon. But for the time being, this is our setup for doing Kuudra. And this is, of course, our DPS setup. And we are going to be using the Chimera Axe with our G-Drag. So looking pretty solid. Okay, so it's a little bit far in the future since that last clip. We're going to make things a little bit out of chronological order. But I've done like 200 Kuudra runs since then. And I've leveled up the armor to 10-star fiery. And everything is on Breeze 7, Mana Pool 7 now. And I think during that last clip, I wasn't wearing my right equipment yet. So we're just going to see what my damage is without that. We are now up to 1.64 million, which is pretty solid. But if we put the equipment on, we are up to 1.8 million. So we're very close to 2 million damage, but I think we can hit it if we do the last little bit of upgrades. So I'm not going higher than this, at least not anytime soon. But we're going to upgrade from 10-star fiery to infernal. It costs 25,000 Crimson Essence, and I guess I don't have the Kuudra teeth I need for it. Oh yeah, I definitely do. It just wasn't counting it because they're not in my inventory. All right, this should definitely cover it. So 20 million coins per piece for this, but there is Infernal Aurora, and then Infernal Aurora, and finally Infernal Aurora. So the whole setup looks like this now. Got everything on Infernal, and still got a little bit of Crimson Essence left over. But if we check our damage now, it is definitely should be higher than that. Let's try that again. Okay, 1.8 million still. I think that only increased it by a tiny amount. But if we get a couple more kills here and drop a Magma Cube pet, I would like to see how much damage the ability does. It's only doing 800k per, but it will shoot out 5 of those missiles. So a total of like 4 million extra damage on top of the right-clicking with the Hyperion that we're getting. And again, this isn't technically a Hyperion. It is an Estrella, so we were to make it a hype, we'd be getting a bit more damage. Could definitely push over that 2 million, I think, for sure. Or if I just swap over to an implosion belt, voila, there it is. So we can now do over 2 million damage. And that, by the way, is with my magical power on hurtful. So it's not even on sided or bizarre or anything that's going to make me do more damage. So let's just test the limits real quick. If I swap to bizarre, we now do 3 million. Dude, that's crazy. And again, that's with me using an Estrella. If I swapped this to a Hyperion, we could get close to like 4 million damage. That would be crazy. But now with the sneak ability, we do over 1 million damage per hit with the missile. That's crazy. But thanks to that purchase, we now have Infernal Aurora, Infernal Terror, and the very beautiful Infernal Crimson. I'm not planning on doing a future and getting an Infernal Hollow or an Infernal Fervor set. So this is probably where our Infernal dreams die. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll get desperate and 15th star something. Alright fellas, thank you so much for watching to the end. Hope you enjoyed. I know this one was a bit longer than usual, but hope it was still entertaining. And before we go, I just want to say, thank you guys so much for 25,000 subscribers. Hopefully in the next video, I'll be able to show off what I've been planning for 25K. We hit it a lot sooner than I was planning, so the things I have in mind aren't quite ready yet, but hopefully I'll be able to share with you guys soon what I've got. But as always, thank you so much for watching to the end. I'll catch you in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.